Hello, everybody, and welcome to the OSINT Curious live stream. I am Michael Hoffman, and I'm thrilled to be here with three of our OSINT Curious members. And so, without further ado, let's introduce them. John, say hi to everybody.
Everybody, John Turbush, the Gumshoe on Twitter. Happy to get back with you today. Inesh.
Hi, everyone. Inez Narciso, IWN_LX on Twitter, and I pass it over to Sector.
Hi, everyone. Sector 035, your weekly OSINT newsletter creator. Micah.
Nice. Good plug in there, too. I'm guessing that tomorrow there'll be another week in OSINT, maybe?
Who knows? Yeah, of course.
Who
of
knows?
course.
Yeah, it's like clockwork, except for that 1 week. Hey, and for those of you that are joining us live, thank you. Welcome. We are on Twitch, Periscope, Twitter, and YouTube right now, streaming live. Our details are at the bottom of the page right now. Scrolling in there is the link to our website where we have 10-minute tips, short video clips. We've got blog posts and much more information. We also have our OSINT Curious name, which we use on most platforms, a link to the Searchlight Discord, which is a chat group that we are found in and that is OSINT focused. And then finally, if you like what you're hearing on here, you want to help us keep the lights on, please consider becoming a Patreon patron of ours and paying us a little bit of money to help us with the content. And for those of you that want them, they are going to continue to scroll down there on the bottom of the screen. But first, let's see who's out there and online with us. Let's see. I'm looking at my ball. I see Rabbit NL. I'm guessing Netherlands, maybe. Zevin, hey. Trapeze, Labella, welcome. If you are out there on YouTube, Twitch, or Twitter Periscope, say hi to us. This is not a webcast. This is a live stream, so we want your help. And we want to say hi. Hey, Access, how you doing? Hola. Cool. John, Inez, Sector, what do you say we get started with a little bit of GeoGuessr?
Let's do it. Third
Cool.
time charm for me.
I'm ready.
Wait, what did you say, John?
Third time is the charm for me, hopefully.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, practice makes perfect, right?
Right.
So for those of you that don't know, we started each of our live streams with the GeoGuessr game. It's gone absolutely viral during these COVID times. The GeoGuessr is a game where we'll be using Google Maps and we'll be placed in a certain location. And what we need is you to help us figure out where in the world are we? And we have 3 minutes to figure out where we are. And I have to put a little pin on a map saying we think we're right there. And we'll get points. The closer we are to the actual location, the more points. And we've had some really good successes in the past. The biggest challenge is we don't want you to do any Googling or Binging or Yandexing. If you see a sign, we only want you to use your heads. And the second thing is when you post into the chat, I think we're here. Tell us why. Oh, that character is only used in that country, or I saw a map or a flag. Tell us why, and then we will listen to you. All right, Inesh, Sector, John, you ready for this?
Ready.
Cool. All right, here we go. Let's get our GeoGuessr on the screen. Now, for those of you that are playing along, GeoGuessr is a free app that you can use. It's geoguessr.com. I'll just toss that into the chat. We do the daily challenge, and what we have is 5 rounds of 3 minutes to guess what is in here or where we are. All right, here we go. Ready? Let me just move this over. Okay, ready? We're going to start round 1. 3 minutes per round. Here we go. All right. Call out what you see. I see driving on the right. Oh, no, that's a parked car. It looks like we're driving on the right-hand side of the road, but this is really a one-lane road.
It's a white number plate.
Right off the bat, I see sheep and stuff, and I'm thinking hills. I'm thinking
Scotland.
I was thinking Scotland, Ireland, somewhere.
Yeah.
Stacked stone walls.
Okay. Stacked stone walls. So we're just going to go down the map here.
But they were driving. Well, you couldn't actually see which side they were driving, right? Because
Yep.
This is basically a 1-lane road at one.
it looks
Yeah.
like so.
Yeah. But we're seeing like rolling hills. Let's see. I don't see any peaks. Let's see if we get up to the top of this hill here. Okay, Connor says it looks like Ireland. I'm inclined to accept that. Let's see. So let's just turn around. We got water over here.
Yeah.
See that?
That's some water.
Water, a hill.
A sort of foothilly.
You know,
This area.
this could be somewhere in South America too. Oh wait, here, hang on. I know I saw that sign.
Yeah, there's a sign.
Yeah.
You don't think South America? Oh,
No, I don't think so.
okay. Well, let's see.
I'm feeling a Europe vibe here for sure.
Magold
Mo-
Village.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's
Can
a
we-
flag. And there's
can we
a
get-
flag
Yep.
overhead. There seems to be a flag.
There's a
like,
flag over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Full
And what
area.
language is this?
That's
Phil?
probably what is it?
Let's
Celtic?
say Celtic.
Welsh.
So-
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Or Welsh, yeah.
All right.
So
Red flag.
Ireland would be nice.
Okay. Ireland. All right. What do you see? Okay. Chris says Wales.
I'm getting kind of a Welsh vibe too.
Yeah. Okay.
Not that I know anything. This is,
Ooh.
again, I haven't done a lot of this.
Second
Okay.
red flag with a little thing in the middle. Second red flag. All right, let's go over here to the map. All right, so Labella says Wales as well. Now help me. Where is
Yeah.
Wales?
West of London.
Yep.
West of-
Down,
okay,
down,
over here?
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we
Yeah,
saw
it makes
water
sense.
too. South, north. There's water right there, but
Yeah, but we see some land on the other side. So I would go down, just a little bit down, Pembroke, left of Pembroke.
like over here.
Yeah, a little bit up. There's
well,
some.
I'm probably going-
There's some water.
Yeah.
Let's just do like right here. Just that way it can be above. Oh, somebody
Yep.
says Man Island. All right, we're gonna try this and see what we
Oh
see.
man.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Oh,
Here we go.
Cool.
Okay, so it was Isle of Man. So now, one of the things that we've been doing is trying to get better at this. Let's take a look at and they actually have something for Isle of Man. Oh, there's Isle of Man's
Oh.
flag. Yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
If only we
Yeah,
could have
thank
enhanced
you.
a little more, Micah.
What's that?
If only we could have zoomed in a little better. On
I'm
the flag.
sorry. My zooming skills are still in
not you.
I'd never seen that flag. So
yeah.
even
All right,
if
and
it
Barima
was-
says that the flag is man's. All right, well, Barima, we need you to type faster. Could have definitely used you. All right, so we got some bollards here that are kind of gray. So we're using the geotips.net site. I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste that into the chat. And geotips.net helps us to understand why or how things are presented in Google Street Maps for each of these different countries. And my goal is to get better at recognizing this stuff. Like here, look at the road lines. We got the dashed. We don't see any yellow, which is big over here in the United States. We see a lot of dashed lines. All right. Road signs. All right. Electricity poles just look like a thing of wood. And the Isle of Man license plates have the flag on the left. Cool. All right. Let's get back to it. So that wasn't too bad. I mean, that was respectable.
It
All right.
looked like a nice place to visit, actually.
I think so too. I think so. I'm planning my vacation now. All right, here we go. Round number 2. All right, big wide open area. It looks like we're on the right-hand side, but are we driving that way? Let's see. I'm just going to head down this way. There looks like
Wasn't
there's
there a road sign with a blue sign where we started, or
Was there?
I
No,
thought
no,
I
we'll
saw
go back.
something blue?
No.
Yeah,
There's a
just
house.
click on the flag. Click on the flag on the left.
On
Under
the
your
Here?
yeah, click on the flag. Yep. Return
right.
to start. There it is.
Sort of mild.
Okay, so that's a weird mark.
So-
I've never seen it.
There's some numbers there. All right, but at least they're numbers. What do we got here? We got a person's house or farm or something. Definitely flat. And I can't. Oh wait, let's see what direction we are. So I think we're on the right-hand side of the road, just based upon the where we are here. We'll see.
It looks European, but where?
Well, I don't know. Any thoughts from our people online? I don't see anything there that would tell us.
Southeast Europe somewhere, but I'm
Netherlands?
Not sure.
I don't know. This could be part
No.
of America too. I mean, there were some bollards there, but it's just like white posts. Yeah.
I doubt it's the Netherlands, but I'm not sure.
Oh, this is killing
Our
me.
roads are better. and we don't actually have so many overhead power lines like this.
And look at the trees too. They're deciduous type of trees here.
But
and
again,
they are
they don't
definitely
look
not a
very
northern
tall.
location.
Yeah, definitely.
There's
kind
a
of
birch, I think.
I don't know. All right, we have 1 minute and 19 seconds. I'm going to put a map right in the middle of Europe if we don't. Okay, so here's a different type of electrical pole. I don't know. We get some
Ooh.
big trees there.
I would almost
This is-
think something like Sweden or
Yeah, I was
Finland.
gonna say it looks like with the
Yeah.
birch
Oh,
trees
yeah,
and
it's definitely
stuff,
not
maybe
United States.
somewhere in Scandinavia. Something.
Hang on.
Yeah. Oh.
There we go. Where are we thinking?
Oh, there you go. It's
No.
yeah.
Hold on. No,
that
it's
S.
so we go somewhere towards, I think, Romania.
Baltics, maybe.
Yeah,
Really?
no, it's not Finland. No, it's not one of the Scandinavian countries.
Okay, well, I've got 30 seconds.
Lithuania. Could
Where are we
be
going?
too.
Like a
It's not-
Lithuania.
Yeah, it's not Poland.
Okay, so we're going
Yeah.
like over here.
Yeah, it's that, or
Let's
it's somewhere in the East Bloc.
All right, Czech Republic.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Well
very
done,
good.
Sector. Lithuania.
Very
yeah.
well.
That was really
Very
good.
good.
That was hard too until we got to that sign, right? All right, let's just see what we got here. Belarus, Latvia, Lithuania. Let's learn about it. We didn't see any flags. That would have really helped out. Google car. Oh, we did see bollards and they were white, but bollards are really hard to go off of. There were no lines on our road, right?
Nope.
Yeah. All right. Road signs. Okay, so blue and
They're
bat.
telling you they don't want you going there.
Right, the slash through it. So we did see the S with a, I don't know if that's an accent or whatever over top of it. That was something that was really useful. And we saw the red border around here, which told me that it was not the United States because we don't use signs like this that much. All right, electricity poles. We did see both kinds of those. Look at this. There's a study in electricity poles. That is amazing. All right. Cool. Vegetation. That is like the road we were on, right?
That's where we started.
Yeah, exactly.
Lithuania is a very flat country, it says.
That is very important. Very flat country. Okay. Cool.
But that's why Rabbit and Elf thought it was the Netherlands.
All right. Well, that's not too bad. We're doing pretty well here, everybody. Let's hey Aditya. Let's go ahead and get to round number 3. Here we go. Tell us where we are and why. We're in Lithuania, Latvia. All right, so we have stripes on the road. So this is definitely not the United States because there's no yellow line on the road. And
I think they heard you say, John, that the third was a charm, and they were like, "No way, we're going to place them in the middle of nowhere every time."
yeah.
Yeah, I jinxed us. Sorry about that.
And I can't tell if we're on the right side. I think we're on the right side of the road, but I'm not sure if I'm
there
going
was
back.
like
No,
a canal on the right side where we started. So like
All
some
right.
water, but
Something up
doesn't
ahead.
look like but doesn't.
Yeah, let's get up to this building. What were you saying,
Yeah.
Nish?
I have no idea.
Okay, let's
And
look
I
at this
think
car.
we're driving backwards because that's the
Oh,
front. Oh,
yeah.
no,
No,
we're
no,
driving
no.
on the right. Okay.
Yeah,
Wait,
so we are
wait.
driving on the right. That's
Okay.
a Volkswagen Jetta.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. What color license plate is that? Is that a darker color and a very small
It looks
one?
short,
Yeah, it looks like dark.
non-European.
Can you go forward? Just one
Yeah.
click?
It definitely looks American almost.
Yeah, and on that factory, that looks like something to like save, like it's like a
So
that's a
factory to save
silo.
something.
Those
Yeah.
are like grain silos.
Oh wait, sign,
Yeah.
sign.
Oh, sign.
No passing. Oh,
Okay.
Lidato?
Okay.
Chan.
Okay.
Oh,
Chennai.
what's the N?
I think
Chan.
South America.
South America because the
Yeah.
little thing
Yeah,
at the
like
end.
Mexico.
Yeah,
Could
maybe
that be?
Mexico with the road
Okay.
markings, and it definitely looks kind of dry. But
Wait a second.
there's farming going on.
Is that car following us? Yeah. Okay, so that's another car following us. I was like, did that car go in back?
But
Okay.
it's extremely flat. So where would that be in
Wait,
Mexico then?
there's a sign up here. A couple of them. Hang on. We got 50 seconds.
Yeah,
RSA, Corral de Bustos. I have no idea where any of these are. Anybody? Camlo Aldo.
Could it be Argentina?
You know what?
It's somewhere kind of temperate, but a little
Because it's
dry.
not tropical, so it's either
No,
yeah.
The middle part of Argentina
has a lot of flat
Could be in
areas.
Argentina, or it could be up.
Are there any of those places? Can you see them? You still got 29 seconds.
Yeah,
Can
let's
you
see.
quickly spot for one? You already clicked, so you can let the time run out.
Here's Camlo. Let's see. We're looking for Camlo. I don't see any of them. It definitely is not mountainous here.
No, absolutely.
All right. 7 seconds. All right, we're going with Argentina. It was Argentina. Well done, people. That was good. Wow. So why did you all think it was Argentina?
The Spanish language,
Okay.
flat and kind of dry. I mean, you're looking at maybe some parts of Mexico. You're not that close to the equator there, I don't think, right?
The land, the plants were not like tropical, so they had to be either very south or very north.
Okay.
You could tell from the roads it wasn't U.S. and Spanish
Right.
language is going to be Latin America probably.
Okay. And we really didn't see any of this stuff. We did see the accent over the N in one place. That was a good thing. And Ines told us about how some of the characters are going to be more Spanish and some are more Portuguese, right?
In Portugal, it's the N with the H to do the same sound. So if you see the N with the H without the wave on top, then it's Portuguese. And with the N with the wave, it's always Spanish.
Cool. We did see a shorter license plate, which is good.
Yeah.
And that's it. All right. Cool. Well done, people. At least we're in the same country, right? Each time we've been in the right country. That's a win right there. So, John, third time is the charm. All right, here we go. Number 4. Come on, Connor. Come on, Labella. Help us out here. Let's see.
Oh, it's not rural.
I know. All right. I'm thinking like, oh, wait, no. Hang on. Let's see. What's this say? I was thinking like Asian here just by the cars, but no. Let's see. Ambrose Berber. Aquavita. This is, I don't know, Agua. This is White Plains.
But it says salon,
Wait.
so that's probably like something.
Could this be New York? Like White Plains, New York?
Hold on. Zoom in closer there on those signs.
All right, hang on. Let's look at... Yeah, there's just too much in this one. All right. So here we have no area code. For the United States, I would expect an area code there, right? Yeah. And here you see NG Taga. Maybe it's Asia.
Think it's somewhere with somewhere maybe in
Philippines?
I'm thinking English colony at some point, right? They're speaking English, but
Philippines too. Because it has something like Spanishy about it. It doesn't have any Asian symbols.
World's best dim sum.
Okay. Yeah, maybe Philippines.
Okay, so it's not New York.
No, definitely not New York. We try things.
Then again, it could be. Who knows? Okay.
Yeah, St. Francis. Yeah, so definitely English. But look at the trees. I mean, we've got deciduous trees. I don't see any palm trees here. Oh, wait. There are some palm trees. Never mind.
It looks semi-tropical, I think.
It's definitely not New York.
Okay.
All right.
Signs.
You want more signs?
There are so many signs.
Here's Doton Bori. What does that say?
And the motorcycles.
Japan's number 1.
Oh, here, San Juan City.
Branches in Missouri Street, San Juan City. So which is this?
So it may be
Green Hills, San Juan City. Could that be in Philippines, San Juan City? Who knows? In the chat, who knows where San Juan City is without Googling?
Yeah, that's right. No Googling here. Oh, here we have a whole bunch of these palm trees.
And the motorcycles, that's very Asian,
It
all
is.
these people in bicycles and...
Yep. All right. And let's see. So what are we thinking? Did we say Philippines? Oh, we got 30 seconds left. Here's a 7-Eleven.
I will go for Philippines. I'm willing to gamble Philippines.
Anybody else?
I'm feeling that's about as close.
Oh, and you know what? It was right side of the road. Darn it! One of these. It could be.
And San Juan City. Any chance within 15 seconds to find something?
I mean, if you're looking at English language, a place like San Juan City, like that's kind of a Philippines mesh of Spanish English, right?
All right, we'll go over there. Here we go. Let's see. Manila. Yeah. Okay. So what? I guess there. Oh, I had it clicked up here near Manila.
You had it very close.
I moved it. All right. All right. So let's do a recap. Why do we think somebody over there and somewhere over there? We saw the palm trees is a big key. You know, that shows you the tropical thing. But then we were also looking at nobody mentioned driving on the right side of the road, which is what the blue is here. That's one of the big distinguishers between the Philippines and Taiwan versus Japan, is driving left or right side of the road. All right, so there were other things that we saw, right? So English, whole bunch of English in there. And we saw the roads.
English, Spanish, a lot of
English,
different
Spanish,
Asian like restaurants, but also like non-Asian restaurants.
Yep.
And a lot of people in bicycles and in motorbikes.
There's like an Asian vibe, but with English.
And Spanish. It could only be the Philippines.
It's got to be Philippines, right?
Yeah. Okay. Good job, everybody. And no area codes or country codes on a lot of those signs. So it's a country that doesn't require that. I know over in the United States, we went from the 7-number phone numbers to the ones with the area codes quite a while ago. So that was helpful too. Well done. All right. Now there's a little pressure here because we haven't screwed up and like clicked outside of the country. So let's keep it going here, people. We're doing pretty well. All right. Number 5, last round. All right.
South America.
Okay, South America, but I'm seeing this tile roof. I'm thinking like East Europe.
True.
Let's
almost Greece.
Sign somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Look at those people. Look at the people. Look at
Parco.
The color.
It says no parking. It says no parking in some languages. Language, I would say.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
Is Market Sony? What's that?
Ufta. You know, Ufta, don't you know?
But let's see. Market Sony. So definitely not like Greece.
Oh, what's
100 Met. All right. Let's take a look. I'm going right down the road here. Oh, wait. Yeah, let's take a look. I saw them too. Hang on. Let's go back here. A little bit. And look. Aha. Okay, so help us out. Argendaria.
Silver?
Maybe Argentina? Argentary?
No, Argentary looks like a word for something that has to do with agenda, like Latin. But I wouldn't. It's not Italian.
How about this?
Clinic.
Dr. Amano Pelham Shea.
Oh, this is difficult.
I have no idea. More.
What? Look at FCAT.
Okay, zoom in. Oh my gosh.
What? Right. Yeah, I know. It's hard.
Some of that text.
Albania?
Albania.
Could it be? Yeah. Something Albania. Like that, like Romania.
Albania. Somewhere in that zone.
Romania, Albania, because it has this Latin kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Really?
But it doesn't. Yeah.
And it's
Dacia. That was a Dacia. That's
they
are built there.
Stuff looks kind of Mediterranean a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Eastern Europe, Mediterranean.
And if you follow Quiz Time, Tilman Wagner has lived and worked in Albania for a couple of years, and he posted lots of pictures. It could well be Albania.
Pepsi. Oh, it's America.
All right. We have 43 seconds. 43 seconds. So we're saying Albania.
Yes.
I think
above Greece.
I think we're real close there.
Lower.
Get in the right country because we've got all these tiny countries together, but
like right here.
Sure.
I'm not sure whether I would go more towards the
let's go more towards
or not. I'm not sure.
Whoa, everybody, that's amazing.
Less than 3 kilometers.
That is
No, come on. Micah, you were cheating. You were looking somewhere. You had to.
No. When Sector said, no, I don't want it there, Micah, I just had this gut feeling. Just click a little bit high. Wow, Albania.
Well done.
And
that
when
was
Sam
a
says
hard one.
somebody he knows sent him lots of pictures of Albania, it means he's been doing some sort of massive collection on Albania and he knows all about it.
Well,
Wow.
without the
Labella
hint
said
of
Albania.
Labella,
Radney says
about it.
X is the most common letter in Albania. Okay. I'm just trying to look and see what everybody else is saying here. All right, let's take a look. Albania, do we see the flag?
No.
I don't think so. I didn't see a big red thing. Google car. We didn't get to a place where we were in the city. All right. Wow. There's a crease in the sky in Albania. That would be a big hint, right? Road lines. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything that's like different here.
Really,
Okay.
a lot of it was recognizing the language, right?
Yeah, I mean, really, it was the language, and we see the orange tiled house.
Roofs, yeah.
The alphabets. Here we go. So
A lot of XH going on there.
Mm-hmm. But we didn't see that. We saw XOTI. We saw the Argent. Yeah. Wow. All right. So let's click this and see how we did. 20,000 points. Well
that's
done,
nice.
people. That is one of our best scores ever without cheating.
John, next time you have to be on.
Okay. We'll have to forget this happening, and I'll tell everyone it's my third time.
Third time's the charm. Yeah. Oh, wow. And thank you to everybody that helped us out by sending in the comments and stuff. And that's GeoGuessr, everybody. It's incredibly fun. Sector, you started playing this personally, right? At home, just kind of for fun.
Yes, absolutely. I think highest was like 22,000, but it was quite an easy map. I think it was actually when you played 2, you were together with Nico, and one of the first ones you hit was Iceland, and I recognized the black ground in the area. I thought, okay, that's Iceland, probably the south somewhere, because that's where all the major cities and all that is. So that's where I got my close to 5,000 points, and the rest was easy. Yeah.
Wow, well done. Very cool. Let's see. For those of you that are just turning in, we are OSINT Curious. We are Inesh, John, Sector, and myself, Michael Hoffman, and we are thrilled to be here with you, sharing information about open source intelligence and the other side of open source intelligence, which is privacy. Today's episode, we're going to be talking more about, well, some really relevant things that are happening in the world, and that's COVID-19. You might have heard. Anybody heard of COVID-19? No,
never heard of it. No.
Yeah. So one of the things that we always like to kind of help people point out is that they shouldn't do certain things, right? We see people posting online content, pictures of their driver's licenses, pictures of passports, and now we're seeing people posting this kind of stuff. Pictures of their COVID vaccination records. Now, this is over the United States. Inej, Sector, you all aren't in the United States. Are there things like this that people are sharing in your countries or that you've noticed around the world? Or is it just the United States that's screwing up again?
Well, in Portugal, we don't have those yet, but there's a lot of people sharing like exams, like negative tests, or like just the stamp that they got the vaccine. And yeah, they have usually a lot of like personal data on them.
Yeah. I mean, these are medical records, basically, right? I mean, these are, if you're a cyber criminal or something, this is prized kind of information for, doing all sorts of stuff.
Well, I guess the question is what details are actually found on some of these things. So, instead of just diving in and destroying people's privacy, one of the things that I've done is gone to one of our favorite places, Facebook, And some of you know that Facebook has a optical character recognition system called Rosetta, where if you upload a picture, it will extract text. So in the United States, we use these cards that are very common, the COVID-19 vaccination record cards. These are from the Centers for Disease Control. And as you can see, if I just type that in, choose photos, there's a lot of people that are sharing this data. And the data that's on these is first name, last name, date of birth, and then many times it's things like when they got the vaccine, what they got, and other things. Yeah, well, the thing I like about this is that you can tell people that know about privacy because their fingers are like covering certain things. You see it over in the left here at the second from the bottom.
Several of them there. Another one in that row.
Yeah, you see a bunch of them, and I love seeing that some people are privacy aware, but I mean this data. Well, think about it. You have a name and a birth date. Could you do stuff with that? I think it's just a big picture of a bigger puzzle, right?
Yeah, but that's certainly a great starting point if you want to, steal someone's identity or something like that, access bank information, all these things. Those are identifiers that are key components there. Yep. How likely is it? Maybe not terribly likely, but certainly if I'm doing an investigation into somebody and I find them posting something like this, I've probably validated that this account is the person I'm looking at because I have the birthday or whatever.
Yeah, it's one of those good pieces of data. And just to give a shout out, Ryan is the person that suggested this topic. So thank you, Ryan, for sharing that your curiosity with us. As you say, you were mainly focusing on the United States, but one of the interesting things that we are seeing, and I'm sorry, Inej, you were going to say something. Were you going to say something?
I was going to say that sometimes when you think that you're only giving up like data that actually is already available, you forget to realize that actually that data is also connected to an event that you were part of. So maybe like someone will use that to send a phishing email with like, oh, you were in the vaccine, taking the vaccine last, blah, 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 for example. Or maybe they will use it to call the vaccine center saying, look, my name is Ines. I had a vaccine yesterday there. And I just wanted to confirm my data because I haven't got any text on my phone. Could you just confirm the phone that you have for me? So that's like the small steps that like cyber criminals or other people with malicious intent could use against you. So you're not only giving your data, but you are also telling them exactly what you were doing at what time. And this is also very dangerous when you're doing like live videos on Instagram and you're saying at this moment, at this exact time, I was here doing this. And yeah, you can do it, but you need to be aware of the risks that you're taking.
Yeah, and you absolutely are right about the phishing. This is the kind of stuff that is going to go right into some phishing list. And if they can link an email address with this person, that's an easy pretext to try and get some information out of them.
Yeah.
Links
well, and Ines, you said it very well that anytime you share information to the world, or even not even to the world, but just to your Facebook friends that could pop up into some other place, anytime you share that information and you don't realize that maybe somebody else is collecting that and then going to target you using a very good type of scam, like what you were saying. Hey, did you get the 145 dose in this location of Pfizer on this date? If you did, call me now because...
I mean, I can think of a great kind of a fish for that. We're like, oh, there was some sort of a mistake. We need to talk to you right away. Yeah. Please click on this link. And you're like, oh my gosh, there's a mistake about my vaccination. Let me click this link, right?
Yeah. And Nesh is like, she's like, yes, I'm thinking evilly. Yes. Well, but you have to think about how this data could be used negatively to understand what the risk is to the people that are sharing it. Because if I told you, hey, I now know your birth date, you'd be like, so? I mean, that's sensitive, but so what? Well, I also know other things now too.
One of the things we used to do when I was doing training was we would do this OSINT on someone, and then we would build like really good phishing texts or emails, and we would show it to people saying, like, wouldn't you open this? And people would be like, but how did you get that information? So maybe the person said on TripAdvisor that he was in this hotel, and then you know his birthday because he put it on his vaccination card, and on his birthday you send an email saying, we're from hotel blah blah where you stayed, and because it's your birthday you're getting like this amazing voucher.
Wow. Just like, click here.
Yeah, and that's how you do stuff. So when people see it for real, they will go like, okay, yeah, that's scary.
I think outside of, people that might be watching our stream or people like us, where we're constantly linking together pieces of data, people don't necessarily think with that. Like, okay, yeah, you got my birthday, so what?
So what?
They're not thinking with the 16 other things they shared on social media in the last month that can now all be linked together.
Yeah. Well, and Inez brings up a good point that sometimes it's just a matter of stockpiling this information. Hey, we have the birth date and we have this vaccine stuff. Let's just hold on to it until we get maybe their email, or maybe we get something else that now we can then weaponize this. And let's just add some more data, because I was reading the Washington Post here, a newspaper in the area where I am, in the Washington, D.C. area, and there was an article in there about how the state of New York here is moving to Excelsior Pass, be part of New York's safe reopening by signing up for an account, essentially proving that you got your vaccinations and all these things. And then all you have to do is show this very complicated QR code to a person. They scan it and says, yes, it's valid. And I'm thinking to myself, how many ways could this go wrong, right? But this is good.
Like, what other information is maybe held in that QR code, like the barcodes on boarding passes and things? There can be a lot of detailed information people don't even think about that are included in there because it's easier for whoever's running that system.
Oh, absolutely. And then you think about, well, there's a system now that has medical records for the people of New York, and now it's going to become a target. Or how do you falsify data in there? Because, well, I don't want to get the vaccine, but, I need to fly.
We didn't even mention how easy it would be to counterfeit one of these now by the fact that everybody is putting these out there.
Oh, yeah. So essentially somebody says, hey, look, I'm using the app, and they show they take a picture of the QR code, share that on their Facebook. And then when you need to board a plane or go to a Yankees game or something like that, you're just like, here's my COVID. And they're like, they scan it, it comes back valid, but it's somebody else's record. Wow. That's evil. And it's not evil. It's the world we live in. Well, and, Inez, you and I were talking before the live stream about the world opening up, right? And things relaxing. And, sooner or later, we're going to have air travel starting again. And I started to take a look at some of the things that are going to be required. And here's just a random article about Japan Airlines and how they're going to be moving to digital passport trials. It's like, what is a digital passport trial? Well, it turns out that it's not just them that is doing this either. I'm going to toss this link into our comments just so that everybody has it. But yes, I got it. You can have whatever things you want on it. But look at this. This is current challenges. It's complex issue of storing your information. There's an info gap, efficiencies, errors, and frauds.
These kind of collection things always creep me out a bit. I mean, I understand that people have required countries have required vaccinations of certain types to travel to them for years, for decades. But these are new systems being developed, and there's sort of a rush to get these things to market. And I definitely worry about vulnerabilities that could be in these that could leak all this data.
Well, check this out. Look at these airlines that are already trialing this. This is not just Japan Airlines. There's a bunch of them in here. This is 24 airlines that are already trialing this travel pass, which means that there is already data for some people in these that these airlines can then gain access to. And again, I think we're going to find more and more of this, because like the World Health Organization, I read some things where they said, we don't suggest that we have one of these world passports for your immunization history, but some of the airlines are still requiring it.
I think more importantly, like For me, it's the scariest part isn't even about the individual, because if I decide to give an application access to my phone, it's a deliberate choice. The main problem is that when it has access to my phone, it will not only have access to my things, but also like sometimes they have access to your pictures. And people send me pictures that they assume is private. There's a lot of people who are not online and they don't want their data out there, but I have them on my phone book. So how do I handle this? Like, how do I handle the fact that an app asks for access on my phone book? And I know that, like, when I give it, I'm giving away not only my personal data, but actually the personal data of like my friends or my family. And this is one of those things that you know that the app doesn't need it to actually to work. So this is an interesting thing that we haven't had like bigger like groups like us or others that would give like a sort of a seal of approval saying, look, this app doesn't need your contacts, they don't need your pictures, they don't need this, they don't need that, so you shouldn't give them like
EFF.
I think people are becoming more aware of this now that Apple has started marking and making apps state exactly what kind of information they're collecting and doing. And of course, Facebook and Google are freaking out because everybody now knows all the ridiculous things that they've been harvesting from them for years. So I think this is coming a little bit more to popular attention. People are paying a little more attention to this. It's a little more out there now. It's not just like you and I.
Yeah, and it's not just the applications on the phones, or even maybe whether everything is built securely so it's kind of resistant or resilient towards technical people like hackers. But don't forget, with everything going on and so many different databases where your personal information is stored, a lot of people are working with it, and people are still the weakest links. So, and we've seen that multiple times already, that data breaches sometimes just happen because people have access to data they shouldn't have access to.
And the other thing is, if you need to travel, to Japan on business or something like that, it's not like maybe, I'm not going to put that app on my phone because I don't trust it, which is like me. I don't put apps on my phone really, but you might be in a circumstance where you have to go there for business and you have to put this app on your phone to fly on that airline to get there. And that's not good.
Well, and not only that, you think about this. So let's just continue with this example of Japan Airlines is trialing this app. Well, you know what? You take Japan Airlines over to Narita Airport, but then you're going to pick up a Lufthansa flight to somewhere over in Asia. And now you have to sign up and give that information to them in their app. And then, you know what? From there, to get into the country, you have to do an electronic passport for the country. And so now you have that same data, or worse, more data, multiple apps that Inez is not installing on her phone, on your phone. And it's going to be very challenging to agree that everybody is vaccinated or not. Or maybe what we're going to get to the point where it doesn't matter. And
well, I have two phones. So actually, like, I have my personal phone, and I have my my go-to girl phone that goes everywhere. And she's everywhere, and she has like this email full of spam, and I install everything and I give every possible right. And the only thing is I'm not always with it, but I use it for like loyalty cards. I have a phone number and an email that's like my trash stuff, like loyalty cards. Yeah, you can get my phone number. Here it is. Right. You want my email? There you go. And then it's all over there. And it just, sometimes it feels ridiculous because I get to the store and they're like, yeah, we need the text code we just sent to your phone from the loyalty card. And I'm like, darn it. It's home. Yeah. That's like a small disadvantage for having like this feeling of privacy.
Yeah, and hey, we know about creating burner phones or separating our work from our personal lives, but there's a lot of people that don't, or can't afford multiple phones or aren't given one by their workplace, whatever, and they're maybe a little bit stuck by some of these things.
Well, and not only that, John, but a lot of the people that are out there in the world don't have the iPhone 12 Pro Max or anything like that. They're stuck on Android from 5 or 10 years ago because the phones still work for doing what they want. So they're not dealing with the latest operating system, and they don't have a lot of the protections that are maybe in the Apple community. It makes it really, really good for open source intelligence, because there's going to be so much confusion, and there's going to be so many different things that are out there that finding that data about people and about where they're registered and all is probably going to be easier, because somebody's going to have to check, is John Turbush vaccinated? And there'll be some lookup in some state, and you can go there and just type in a name. So again, for us, as far as open source intelligence, great times ahead. As far as privacy, I am not liking this at all.
How do you handle, like, when your friends, because this happens to me, like when you see your friends. I remember a friend of mine that was like doing like an unpacking, when Instagrammers do like, oh, I got this and I'm gonna, and you could see like on the Instagram story, you could see her address. So like I texted her saying like, look, we can see your address, you should like edit. And she was like, yeah, no, but it's fine. And so sometimes I always have this, like, should I say something, or am I just being like noisy, and should I just not say? It's difficult to decide when you should or shouldn't. Do you guys struggle with that as well?
A little bit. I think most of my friends know I'm like cybersecurity guy and private investigator, and they know that I'm not someone that shares a lot out there. They know I'm not on Facebook. They know I'm not on these other platforms that they're probably on, right? And they know I would suggest don't share it. Why would you share that? But they have their own threat models and ideas, and if they want to share their home address, chances are someone from the GRU isn't going to be paying attention to this person who works in a nursery in Illinois or something like that. But at the same time, certainly if I have a conversation with someone about it, I'm going to recommend that they share as little private information as possible. If they have to be on Facebook or something like that, keep it just to friends, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's kind of a struggle, because I know I would almost never share much of the information I see some of my friends sharing, but I'm not going to be the Cassandra running around telling them to throw their laptops in the dumpster either.
So, Inez, I used to teach parenting classes. I used to teach for years. People, I would share techniques using this one teaching parenting method. I would teach them techniques for working more effectively with their children. And I remember many times on airplanes, in restaurants, or other places, looking at somebody that was doing something less productive, let's just say, with their child. And I'm like, oh, I want to go over there and tell them, I know how to do it right. And I can teach you how to do it right. And it never works out right?
No.
People have to be ready.
Strangers too. I mean,
well, but same thing here on the internet, right? I mean, we have this live stream here for OSINT Curious, and we are talking to essentially strangers out there, telling them, don't share this stuff. And the people that are going to listen to us are the ones that understand the risk and understand that, oh yeah, this is really bad, and I can see why they shouldn't do it. But there's going to be tons of people out there, just like you said, Ines, that are not yet ready to agree that sharing this one little bit of my information, what's the harm? I think they also don't understand that people like Sector and us can collect this information, aggregate it, and when you create that dossier, when you create that mind map of here's every place you've been in the last 3 months and all of the things you said, that's something that's really impactful. But you're not going to do that for every single person on the internet. It's just unrealistic. So my thought is, if it's somebody that's close to me, my family or a friend, I'll let them know, like, hey, you shouldn't do that because of this, this, and this. But for John Q. Public, they gotta want it. I created an app for Untapped. probably heard me talking about it before, where it shows the drinking behaviors of a person. It analyzes the times of the day that they're posting their drinking and other things. And I did that because somebody said, well, what's the worst that you can do with this? You know, I'm just posting one when I'm having one beer. I'm like, well, let me show you. And the person that I made the app for, they made their account private because they were ready to listen and go, that is crazy. But you really do have to prove it. Sector, what do you think about this? You're giving us your grouchy face there.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if that's...
Look at Sector's face.
Well, I do have a background in security and as a security officer, so I'm really I'm always torn between like, okay, yeah, I could use this info, and on the other hand, I go like, oh man, what are you doing? Don't do it. So it's almost like I have two faces sometimes. I love it and I hate it at the same time.
I mean, I don't know. I, as an investigator, sometimes when I'm looking at stuff, I'm like, I feel a little bit bad for the person I'm collecting from. I was like, what were you thinking, right? Did you not think that this might, usually it's some legal case or something that I was maybe working on. It's like, why would you be out there sharing this stuff? Well,
I think, John, I think they don't see the risk. You know, you've worked in cyber for years and years, and Inez, you're thinking like an attacker over there because you have a background in law enforcement, and people don't understand that there are bad people out there that will collect this data and use it against you. Not now, but maybe in a week, in a month, in a year. They'll call you up and just say, hey, you know what? Your insurance didn't accept the free charge for that vaccine that you got on this date with this information. Is this a copy of your card? Oh, yeah. Well, you need to now send us $100 or blah, blah, blah. They don't think evilly like that. And I think
you could see it with the Islamic State. It was really interesting because in 2014, 15, you could collect like almost everything. People would be sharing like actively and very openly on social media, and they would show locations and pictures. And then as that information started to be used by law enforcement against these people, and they would have problems coming back home because this was a time where people would still be traveling between Syria and Europe, for example. And you could see like slowly and like people were getting killed, and then slowly they started saying like, yeah, don't share, don't be so open on social media. And you could see that only through like real examples around them was there like a growth in awareness on what to do. I'm very like myself, I'm quite like open nowadays, but it's a decision. And I think it's always like very personal decision, but you need to be aware of the risks. And for me, it concerns me more when people are not aware of those risks.
And you would think that, and there are criminals that would be aware of these risks, but one of my favorite techniques is kind of going back in time, right? Like, and getting information before someone maybe was doing a lot of criminal stuff or thinking about doing a lot of criminal stuff, where they shared all this information because that was the cool thing to do. And then, 10 years down the road, they're doing some really criminal stuff, but they're still using that same email address, for example. So you can link it back to this old social media account and harvest all this information. So one of my go-to moves is to go back in time with those data types and try to find old things from maybe well before the person was doing criminal activity, where they were sharing a lot, and they've since kind of wisened up, but you can't go back necessarily and remove all that info.
Yeah. And somebody in the comments mentioned about a lot of paranoia here. I think it's less paranoia and more that we understand that this data is going to be used to attack people or trick them. I mean, take just breach data. With breach data, when that data is broken, and when some site gets broken into, and the usernames or the passwords get stolen. I had a person come to me one time and say, "Listen, I need you to help me get 3 Bitcoin." I'm like, "Well, why do you need that?" He's like, "Well, this person said that they were recording me while I was visiting a pornographic website." I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah, they're going to release the video to my Facebook friends unless I pay them."
And everything.
They gave me my password. And I was like, well, was your password in a breach? And they're like, well, I have no idea. And, you know, with a couple of OSINT type of clicks, I'm like, click, click, click. Here, you were in this breach and that breach. Did you use that password on one of these sites? Well, yeah. Well, somebody got that breach, got your email, and is now trying to trick you into giving you money. They don't have some camera installed on your system, or they didn't record you while you were on some website. It's just a phishing type of email that gets sent out and people pay them. So yeah, there is some paranoia, but I think it's more from experience that people are being taken advantage of. And the more data that they share, like these COVID vaccination cards or other stuff, the more data is going to be out there for people to abuse.
I mean, the risk is not necessarily great, but there's risk there, and these people will probably at some point be targeted based on the information that is out there, and being aware. Obviously, we're kind of preaching to the choir for the most part.
Yeah, that's true.
I am sure, but you know, it certainly would be wiser in many cases to try and keep some of this information to yourself. I think we can agree on that. Whether these people are really going to be heavily targeted or attacked, probably not. Is it a big deal? Probably not. But as investigators, it's certainly something that we'll be dealing with and looking at.
I think one of the things is OSINT investigators, because this is OSINT Curious, and we are talking about OSINT types of things. One of the things that I would look for, or I will be looking for, are those OSINT opportunities for looking up people in certain countries or in certain places in the world against these lists of is vaccinated or is not, and what data those apps, those QR codes and other things are going to be sharing. It's just another one of those pieces of data that can help verify a person, a location, and a birth date, or other things as well.
And we all know as investigators, you know, there's often a point in an investigation where you get that one linking of data types. You know, we get the email with the name, with the date of birth, and you're like, okay, great. And it just connects all this information.
Yeah. I would also add up that in healthcare, like in bank and for example, telecom people, like who are answering the phone, like a client support and stuff, they're much more aware of like phishing and of privacy risks. But on healthcare, which is such a private and such a vulnerable situation, I wouldn't say that people are on the other line are that aware. So if you're giving up your healthcare data, it might be used like in a social engineering to know like really vulnerable things about you. And like having worked in Intel, I know that like some countries with like no ethical boundaries will use that against you. For example, they will know your child is very sick, or your wife or yourself, and they will use that like as a pivot to ask for stuff. So yeah, that's a really vulnerable thing to just like not care about.
Yeah. And let's just hang on, John. Just one quick. I've tried to anonymize these. This is just a picture that I showed earlier. But if you look here, it says this person got a Pfizer vaccine from this lot on that date at the something convention center. The data on these cards here, the Pompo Pharmacy, whatever. This is something that is definitely going to be another one of those pieces of the puzzle. Oh, this person got it at Kaiser Permanente. There's a stamp there. Guess what? You know, this person, now we understand their healthcare situation, or what they're using for healthcare possibly. It's just another piece of the puzzle that doesn't need to be out there, and yet we and bad people are going to be using it in our assessments. John, you were going to say.
Follow up with what Ines said, that the healthcare field is definitely not as secure as you might like. I mean, I definitely have done some work like for insurance companies in the past where I was trying to collect and validate medical record information. It was all on the up and up, but I was surprised by how many times I could just call them on the phone, give them the data I had, and they'd give it back to me. Knowing full well, I knew full well, I should have been sending them consent forms and all this stuff, but they just didn't care. I mean, it was easier for me, but yeah, it's definitely, the healthcare field is one that is riddled with holes in this area.
And so I think, and that's, it's one of those things where it is a constant fight of the openness that we need to open back up the world versus maintaining privacy. And how do you validate that somebody is vaccinated and has all of the things that they need to get on that plane, get on that cruise ship, to go to this concert or soccer match without getting all of their medical records. And I think that's going to be something that EFF, the Electronic Frontier Foundation, and many other organizations that are privacy focused are going to be looking at in the coming months and years. Cool. All right, everybody. Well, it looks like we are up here on this hour. Any last thoughts?
Sector's already running away. Look at him.
Yeah. I'm wondering if it's like
ready to go.
Timed. Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, thank you to Inesh and John and Sector for being here on our OSINT Curious bi-weekly live stream. If you are interested in learning more or hanging out with us more, we're going to be doing another live stream, not this week, but next week, actually 2 weeks, I would say. The last week of April, we're going to be doing a live stream Monday through Friday, and it will be, I forgot what time it is, but it'll be Monday through Friday, and we will be on here doing GeoGuessr, but also doing more tools and stuff, showing you interesting things that we can do with different types of tools and techniques. So cool. John, thanks for being on, man.
Yeah, glad to be here. Another fun one. I think we killed it on the GeoGuessr, so that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, that was amazing. Thanks for doing that, John. And Inez, thank you so much for being here.
Bye-bye.
Bye. And Sector, thank you so much.
It was a pleasure.
Cool. All right, everybody. We hope that you have a good week or two. And, well, stay OSINT curious, everybody. Take care.